So when I was born, the doctor didn't say, "Oh, it's a boy." No, no, no. The doctor said, "Oh, it's a shield hater." That's how obvious it was from the very day I was born. The doctor could tell I was going to be a shield hater. Everyone growing up, my parents, my family, my neighbors, they all knew I'd be a shield hater. And here I am, a shield hater. So for those of you who don't know, I do hate the shield. I think it's probably the worst weapon in the game. But recently with the gift rework in late June, it got a series of changes. Now this is nothing new for the shield. It's been through quite... Oh, of course, we get another shield. This one with an interesting affix, more damage. We'll see how useful that is. But the shield has been through many, I would say three, like sort of not complete reworks, but changes for sure. I'm used to... Well, let me just break it down for you. This is not a whole history lesson. This is more sort of review the changes to see if... Is it actually good now? Let's find out. So, the way the shield works, you can do three things with it, basically. The first one I'm going to do right now, you can just hold it, and you can block attacks. You can see I still took some damage. I took 6 damage there, but I was immediately able to go into my alter attack. So that's kind of the first thing. It used to completely block any damage, but now it's changed, as you saw. You take a little bit of chip damage, which early on it's not good, right? Maybe later on, once you have ways of getting like your health back, maybe you have some sort of gift that heals you, or you have strong recovery to get it back. It might be better, but for now, and especially in Cataclysmic where you take more damage, enemies hit harder, this is, just blocking attacks. I took 16 damage. You're not going to be wanting to block or guard, I think is that the actual term in the game, I think, right? Yeah, block and parry. Yeah, so it's block. So blocking is not what you want to be doing with the shield, especially if you're in Cataclysmic with no way of really healing yourself besides your flasks. What you want to do is parry, which is when you raise or drop the shield right before you get hit. So you do a little animation, and you're able to alter attack. So the animation does damage, and then the alter attack is going to be higher. You can see there's a percentage on the shield alter attack. It ranges from 80 to 400. The lower part, the 80 part, is when you guard, right? When you just tank a hit and you alter attack, it's going to be lower. And the game rewards you if you time it right with a parry. That's when it's going to be higher, 400 or so. So that's just breaking the shield down kind of at like a basic level if you've never played with it, which you shouldn't, because it's horrible, like I've been saying. And then there's the alter attack, which I'm showing off now. Doesn't do any damage, it just raises the shield that floats around you for 7 seconds, and it's going to block a hit. So if he hits me... Okay, I don't think it blocks that hit. To be honest, I don't use the shield too often. I think it does block hits, right? It definitely does block something. I don't know if it varies on the type of like attack that it blocks, so I'm gonna find out. All right, let's try it here. So if I have the shield here. Well, you can see I didn't take any damage and my shield disappeared. So that's the alter attack, which honestly, even though it has no offensive capabilities, it actually might be good if you can find, maybe later on in your runs when you have a ton of attack speed, maybe you can spam that and just get a bunch of shields floating around you. I don't know. Let me not die while I'm trying to show this off. So the shield definitely hampers your offensive capabilities, right? I can't really, use the shield's alter attack to do damage. What I can do is I can block, and then, kind of use the shield alter attack to tank a hit for me and let me alter attack without taking damage. Or I can parry, which I didn't parry there. Okay. Yeah, so that's going to be the next thing I'm going to talk about once I kill him. There you go, got the parry. And another shield, of course. So, the problem with parrying, or the problem with the shield is that parrying is obviously how Motion Twin wants you to play, right? They want you to take advantage of the bigger alter attack damage and like the affix here, all that stuff. They want the reward of you blocking. Or parrying, I should say. The problem is that it does get a little bit tricky when there's a lot of enemies on screen, because you have to, you're not parrying one enemy, you're trying to parry 1 out of 50 or however many enemies are on the screen. 50 is an exaggeration, but you get the idea. So here I'm just keeping an eye on that one enemy, because I knew it would attack. But if there's a lot of enemies, if you're looping, it's going to be hard to keep track of which enemy to parry. And then, additionally, there's so many different attacks in Windblown, ranged attacks, melee attacks, like projectile-based attacks, and not all of them are parryable. Like that goo attack there, though, is a bit harder to parry than the sword attack. And there's an attack in Golem Gardens that I was trying out earlier, the rolling ball laser thing. I don't think you can parry that one, and other people have said the same thing in the Discord. So that's just another one of the many problems that, yeah, Motion Twin wants you to parry, but it's really hard to parry everything because a lot of attacks are different, and some are just don't seem to be parryable. And as you can see, I'm about to die because I'm using the shield, which is ironic, right? Isn't it ironic that the weapon that is supposed to be like the defensive weapon in its class actually leads me to die more? I would still be in the run if I was running two weapons that actually did damage or did something, because I'd be able to kill enemies before they killed me. So yeah, first off, we have that chip damage I was talking about, which is really annoying, especially in Cataclysmic, right? If you mistime a parry and you get hit for the full damage, your health bar is gone. And even the chip damage itself, right? When you're blocking and you take the hit, it's still gonna wear you down pretty quickly, right? 8 damage there, 10 damage there. Before you know it, your 100 health at the start is down to 10. You need to pop a flask. And that's kind of strange considering how this is supposed to be like the weapon that protects you, right? This is like the defensive shield weapon. Um, so yeah, there's that. Not to mention parrying is difficult because there's so many enemies in the game, so many attacks. The shield is definitely a high skill weapon, I would say, because you need to know all of the enemies in the game, all their attacks, and you got to get used to parrying all of them at the right moment. But even as a player who's played for hundreds of hours, I'm not interested in doing that with the shield. So why should other players, right? Because I would think I'm more on the high end of hours played. So if I don't want to use the shield and I have hundreds of hours, why would anyone else want to go through the trouble of learning, okay, I need to parry this attack at this point and then that one at that point? It's just a huge like headache, if you will. I won't I will say for sure that the shield is unique and that pairing does feel satisfying if you can pull it off. If you don't pull it off and you mistime it, you're dead, or you're at least close to dying. Um, so yeah, the changes that were made recently basically just buffed the shield, right? It made pairing do more damage. It gave you a little bit more damage reduction when you're blocking, and it lets you, just have that ultra attack kind of up and protect you if you manage to get it going. Have a few shields rotating around you. It's cool in theory. I just don't think this is the way to go. Not only is it not fun for me, which kind of sucks because Windblown is a really fun game. Uh, I can't get past fungal swamp. Not to mention do it in a way where the time chest is even a remote possibility. So that's just my 2 cents. I don't think the shield is in any better place than it was before the gift rework, and I will continue hating the shield for as long as I live. But even though it's a little bit of a negative topic when it comes to the shield, I think the gift rework in general was a resounding success, and I encourage you to just jump in and try it if you haven't tried it yet. Even if the shield sucks, you can keep that turned off in the memory deck. Don't worry about it. There you go. No more shield, and now I can go back to making the videos that I'd like to be making. So that's going to be it from me today. Let me know if you disagree, because trust me, if you disagree with me and you really love the shield, I would like to hear back from you 100%. Not even to make fun of you, not to ridicule you. I just want to see someone with a different opinion than me, because I think I hold an opinion that most people probably agree with. I will say that I do enjoy the shield like fantasy of it. Like if you're playing with friends, you can be kind of like the tank, right? Holding the line, getting the enemies to focus you while your friends deal the damage. That's cool, but it's a really niche thing. And I think the shield can be a lot better overall, offensively and defensively, which right now I think it does neither pretty well, minus the alter attack. I will say the alter attack is a cool concept, but it's not enough to make up for it. So that's it. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the vortex back there.